Take two. Hello, YouTube Nation. Welcome back for yet another toy review. Well, I started this, got about 5 minutes in, had a Pete Venkman opened, and for some reason the camera shut off. So I'm going to have to kind of keep a little eyesies on it to make sure it doesn't do it again. So today we're going for the Real Ghostbuster, the Fright Features. Already got one open, so we're going to take a look at Pete Venkman's first because this was the box that he opened. Got them at Ollie's for a nice little price of $7.99, which isn't all that terrible. Does resemble the old style boxing, which I think is pretty cool. Got the cartoon up here, and he comes in with gruesome, twosome ghosts. And then on the back, it shows the four fellas, which we're going to get into them back there. But Real Ghostbusters, Kenner Hasbro, we've got him. We've got a Ray Stantz with Jail Jaw Ghost. We've got Winston Zedmore with Scream Roller Ghost, and we got Egon and the Sore Throat Ghost, which is kind of cool. All right, so sorry about that, since he's already opened, but we're going to have to go ahead and hit it again because, well, I don't know why it didn't record. I'm going to be staring at this camera quite nicely. So the Fright Features, they have something to where it scares our heroes here. So for Peter is a push in the arm, and just a head just goes, kind of goes to a big top there. Reminds me a lot of the Beetlejuice stuff. That looks like a Beetlejuice pose for me. His gruesome, twosome ghosts can go around his neck like such, but he does have the ghost grappler here that if you kind of dangle it on there, and per the actual page here, it does go in this hand quite better because this is the hand that does the stuff. He's not going to stand with that heavy weight out there. So for me, when we get to display him again, he's going to go just as such, and with his gun, weapon, whatever you would call it, does have a nice Ghostbuster patch on the side, has the nice gold I guess accessories, belt pack thing going on. Got the gray in the pants, got the kind of the waders going on there, which is pretty cool. One of the things I mentioned in the video when I was recording it before I did, I never really got into these as a kid because I never owned them. I can't remember if it was because of cartoon issues or if it was just something I didn't get into. But I do enjoy them quite much now. I have not went back to watch the cartoons or anything like that. I'm just grabbing these when I get them. I'm not that excited to go buy them at full retail. It's fun for when I go to Ollie's, because I do visit Ollie's quite often, for when these kind of toys that I won't pay full price come in. So it's kind of a plus for me. I know they don't make them that when they get to Ollie's in the droves that they did, because boy, oh boy, did they really get there, and they were in big demand. Let's go Winston next. Winston's packaging, it's got that same vintage strut. Does have a cool cartoon that's going on up here, which is very nice. And if we open this puppy up just like the other ones, this was an easy package removal, which was very nice. As I check to make sure we are recording, and we are. That is nice. Figure should just pop right on out quite smoothly there. His ghost comes out, and his weapon accessory should pop right on out. And it does. That's good. I like when it's done easily and when it's a pretty easy transition. All right, so one of the things that I did mention with Peter's gruesome, twosome, with the screaming roller here that we got cooking, he fits on his finger, which was a normal thing for some of these ghosts, but it is a hard plastic, not a soft plastic as it once had. Now, the one cool thing that you could do to him, it could go on his head and it could kind of spin around there. This will go onto the hand that doesn't do the activations. It should, and it does, just slide on as such. Not a lot of detail going on with those. That doesn't move or anything. The hand will hold it like that, and it's just, I guess, a catch-em. I don't think it's a hammer, kind of like Donkey Kong. I just think that's a ghost catcher for him. So when you push in his left arm, his action spins his head, and you'll notice the head it's not two heads. It's a slow goes around, and it's just dropping, which is kind of cool, but very cartoon. Running backwards kind of a thing. And that's what this Ghostbusters crew was. They were all about more of cartoonish than the real movie and everything else, because the movie figures were just, it was made to be a good movie. It was made to be a comedy, and they did a really nice job with Ghostbusters, one of the best movies ever. For these guys, it was for the kids and everything else. Let's go over to Ray stands. Now, I will say this, that I've owned a Ray in the past. Pete does not like standing up when you move this table. Could be just the table. I used to have him, but it was like from a yard sale bin. It was never purchased in full, or I never had the ghost or anything, but I always did remember having him for some unknown reason. He's got jail jaw, kind of looks like jail bars there. He's going to do some kind of ear thing here, which is wonky. And then the ghost that's happening here. Opening him up, get this packaging out of the way. Let's see. Yeah, this comes out nice little bubble. The ghost comes out again. They're in here fairly tight, but it being a hard plastic doesn't really hurt it. Got his weapon. Then, the feet come out. All right, so we've got good old Ray out. And Ray, what did I say he had? The jailbird, or jail jaw. Jail jaw is what he's got. So the jail jaw coming in there. Kind of looks like a jail. It's kind of neat. The two colors on the ghosts are fairly same, just a little bit different shade there from Winston's to Ray's. Ray's little looks like a grabber. Will just go right through his arm, I hope. Yeah. Just as such, I think he's the only one that doesn't have a peg that goes in the hand, but does have a C-grip, which is kind of weird. And then got a cool Ghostbusters shirt there. That logo's looking good. The tan. I do like the fact that when they all stand together, which they'll be up here shortly, they all have their own unique colors of that 90 neon era. We got a lot of purples, a lot of teals, whites, and reds, just popping neon. That's real cool. Got his jumpsuit. And then when you push his hand, the eyes kind of bug, which they're already like that, but the head's going up. The ears pop out. Kind of a cool one. Always did enjoy having him. And then always my favorite. I've always loved Egon for some reason. We don't get to see the cartoon very well on this because the sticker went right on it. He's going to have some tie and some mouth action, but we do have, I think, the greatest of the toys that are named with the Sore Throat Ghost. Sore Throat Ghost coming in here. All right, so we're going to get that out of the way. Let's get Sore Throat Ghost out of here. Let's get Ray's kind of chomper jaws of life things cooking there. And then let's get Egon out of here. All right, so here's Egon. The cartoon likeness of these still resembles the actors, which I think is really cool. That's going to go just right on in there. And he does have a peg for him to slide. Will he hold it though? It's a tricky, but there we got it. All right, so he's in. He's got his little clamp downers there, which is pretty cool. And then look at good old Jailbird here. Again, the ghosts are all different. Would have been cool if they would have matched their guns. And again, I honestly don't know if these are the just exact repaints, but if his ghost would have been yellow, or if they would have matched it to where his may have been green, his may have been blue, his may have been yellow, his may have been purple, kind of would make these pop just a little bit more. But the white jumpsuit really pops. The logos on these are awesome. They're very perfect for the figures. And then that face sculpt is very good to the cartoon. And then you just press in his hand, and he's got a tie that comes out and kind of gets a little giraffe-necked and a little scared there. But for me, these are a fun little purchase when you can spend, I don't know, $30-ish for this many of them. I think it's a win-win to go down and have something that you didn't have when you were a kid and that you get to have now. And I think they are cool. So we got Egon, we got Ray, Winston, and Peter. This is the Real Ghostbusters. I guess this is Series 2, the Fright Fighters. Not Fright Fighters, Fright Features. on these Ghostbusters. So until next time, hope everybody has a great day. Happy Monday. Peace out, home skillets. Enjoy your day.